Hello guys from YouTube and also from Instagram. So this is the first time that I do the live simultaneously on on these both platforms. I don't know how I'm going to uh, put in here. So welcome. I know some of you prefer to watch the live on YouTube. Some of you, as you wrote me, prefer on Instagram. So this time I decided to do in the both platforms. And so I see that there is some people here already on YouTube. Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing great. So let me position the best way so I can see all the comments in the chat. Welcome. I hope you all had a nice Oshilahu quer TRECENA that is just finalizing right now, at least here in Brazil. So while we are waiting for some other people to join the live, feel free to write something in here about how was your TRECENA, how are you. Remember, for those who are just arriving to the channel, on YouTube at least, if you're just beginning to follow the Maya calendar and you don't know where to start to follow, I have a playlist that is called Fundamentals. In there you can see like the elementary videos where I explain what nawals are, what TRECENAs are, so what you should be paying attention whenever following the TRECENA. So make sure you check that out. There are a couple of videos over there. And if you have any questions, just leave in the comment section below. I always love chatting with you and providing the informations. And for those who are watching here on Instagram, and also if you don't know my YouTube channel, you can just type Maya the Keeper or just access the link in my bio. And so we can start with the analysis. And also, as I always ask, if you are enjoying this series of lives, this live TRECENA analysis, everything that I ask is for subscribe to my channel, just leave a like, that will help me with the YouTube algorithm. And also, if you just started following me here on Instagram, just give me a follow. That I time and time I'm active in here and I'm trying to do my best to continue this way. So we don't have anyone here on Instagram yet, but here on YouTube we can start the live analysis. So guys, we just finished the Oshilahu quer TRECENA. Remember, if you want to follow the graphics, you can go to mayathekeeper.me, and there you can see the calculator. In the calculator, you can look up for tomorrow's date, and you can see the graphics of the snake. So the Oshilahu quer TRECENA just wrapped up. That was the TRECENA that we spoke about, the accumulation of strength that would lead us, with a lot of strength to inject into something. This was a TRECENA that we spoke about the altar. Now quer is the deer. It is related to how we do or perform our ceremonies. The altar is the place where we can intermediate with the ancestor, we can intermediate with the nawals, we can intermediate with the other realms. So whenever you are in the need to balance some stuff, you always go to the altar to do that, or you try to find a spiritual guide to help you in this journey. So the quer is always going to be talking about this spiritual strength that we need to accumulate, whether to go back into balance or to get more strength to go and do whatever is necessary. So that's the main conceptualization of the nawal quer. So in the past TRECENA, we started with Tz'ikin, one ego. That was about focusing in whatever we need to do to accumulate strength. If the past TRECENAs, they were kind of tough, like if we went crazy, trying to germinate, or maybe we went out of balance. So now TRECENA was about to restore balance, to go back to recover our physical strength, our spiritual strength, whatever strength was necessary, so we could inject somewhere, so we can deposit that somewhere. And now we are starting the TRECENA of Oshlahu Junajpu, 13 Conqueror Sun. So this is the TRECENA that we're going to be talking about, the big battle for the glory. Is the big battle to overcome darkness, to overcome insecurities. The nawal Junajpu is the nawal of the sun. The sun carries the metaphor of the seed that needs to go to the darkness of the underground, needs to fight to get to develop, and then later rise up as a flower. So the flower is another metaphor for Junajpu. So it's gonna be the saga of the seed that needs to see the light of day and shine, to attract the bees that are gonna be going there smelling the flower, and then later it's gonna be spreading more the seeds in the land. So we're gonna be talking about this development of the seed. Another metaphor that we use for Junajpu is about the battle of the sun that needs to conquer darkness and rise up and show its glory. You know, it's this battle for glory. It's just like a metaphor for the warrior that needs to overcome its fears to conquer the battle, to win the battle, to get the glory. So that's another metaphor that we use for Junajpu. So, and that's what this TRECENA is going to be about. So if in the TRECENA we were accumulating strength, we're going to be using this strength for this battle that we need to conquer right now. Whether this battle or this darkness represents our fears or insecurities, or ways to try to attract, like with our projects, to attract with our ideas, to get more people joining our boat, could be anything related to that. So in the Oshlahu TRECENA was a TRECENA where we accumulated strength, so now we can deposit in that seed to see how the seed can germinate. So right now we can start this TRECENA with whom can you one seed. Now one seed talks about the beginning of the process of planting the seed. Everything starts like when the seed goes to the underground. As soon as the seed goes to the underground, it already starts its battle to grow up as a flower. It already starts, this overruling concept of Junajpu, the conqueror sun. Remembering the seed carries the potential of becoming something great, becoming a tall tree, or becoming or the potential of multiplicating something. But it's only the potential. So if the seed carry these three phases, or the one that doesn't germinate, or the seed that gets extra additives into that, and then later it can rotten, but also the seed that receives everything in the right proportion. It has the proper heat of the sun, has a proper soil, the proper amount of water, the proper everything, then it can germinate, it can become a beautiful flower later on. It can do what is required, it can multiplicate. So that's the story of the seed. We can also apply not just in the agricultural process that we apply these metaphors, but we can always talk about like the seed of our projects. So the now seed is not just about, I'm just gonna throw for the universe, so the universe we're gonna do its shite, to do whatever it needs to do to develop. So the seed needs the proper nurturing to develop. So we need to really know whatever we are doing. We need to do the proper nurturing of our projects if you want them to come to fruition. So it's about for us, to apply, like the stuff that is necessary, the steps that are necessary in the right proportion. Remember, if we try, as a seed can talk about, now can talks about productivity. Sometimes it doesn't talk about for you extenuating yourself, just working hard, trying to, get what you want. Sometimes you can get extenuate, you can, overdose the things that you can do, and then that can result on you just working one day really well, but then you stay like 5 days without doing anything, or don't know if you really want to get to that direction. So we always need to treat things in the right proportion. We need to treat things in a like in a proper way. So if you want to the seed to come to fruition, to develop and multiplicate. So that's how we start this TRECENA with Hun Canil, and wanting to avoid the intoxication that Canil can bring. And then from Hun Canil, we're gonna move to Keptor, to ascending fire. Now 2 is a now of the retraction, of taking one step back or making our calculations, is akin to the low tide, then is retracting to accumulate more strength and later go forward. So that's the real metaphor of the now 2. So we can talk about it's the moment to make the observations, to make the calculations, or to see what went wrong in the past TRECENA, or in the other TRECENA, or the things that we are doing, so we can do better this time. So this is the proper time to correct things. And now we talk about the sacrifices that we do to achieve power. Is the price of our commitments. So in how we commit ourselves in order to get like this reward afterwards, like after everything. It can cost us everything, like our physical health, our sanity, but if we decide that's the road we want to follow, so no one can say anything. So 2, Thor is going to be talking about, calculating the sacrifice, that will cost for the seed to germinate and become a flower. The sacrifices that are required for you to conquer your fears, to conquer the darkness, to make your projects attract. So that's the moment to project what you need to do. Is a good moment to plan what is necessary, for you to observe where would you like to get. But be sure of, if you know the price that will cost you, because sometimes if you just extenuate yourself, as I spoke about in the now seed, that can cost you, from your health, and that's what we'd like to avoid in here. So now Thor is going to be talking about these sacrifices, that everything in life has a cost. Like nothing is for free. As I always like to remind, everything that we do is a trade. Nothing is for free. Even the air that we inhale, we take from the earth, we need to give back to the earth in the same proportion in the exhale. So that's the metaphor. Everything has a price. So if you are committed to work a lot, so you're committed to do that, you need to know the price that it will cost. So you need to know that you need to be working in the right proportion, so you don't extenuate yourself, so you don't take that from your health or from your sanity to achieve that. So be sure about the price that you have to pay in order to conquer the things you intend to conquer. So, and then we gonna move to the next nawal, or sheep, Tz'i, 3, dog. The nawal 3 is the water that opens the path. It's the first strong step forward that we do in the TRECENA. It's the nawal also talks about the divergence. So if the nawal 2 is retracting to recharge and then go forward with more strength, now 3 is this act of opening the path, or finding the right path to open, to see where things are going to flow. And now Tz'i is a now of the emotions, is the emotions that we carry, that's going to be taking us, is going to be moving us forward to try to conquer the stuff that we want to, that get us excited about it, but it's also the emotions that can block us. Now 3 is the attempt of overcoming an obstacle. So in this TRECENA that we are talking about, like this big battle to overcome darkness, to overcome our fears, to overcome these emotions that can put us in darkness, that can sometimes makes us try to avoid a path or just try to look for something to escape, like because we don't want to confront the feeling, that insecurity, and that's where 3 dog plays an action, because emotions we cannot completely control them. Like they can be a sea of madness sometimes, because the same way that one day we love a person, when we blink of an eye we break up a relationship, we kind of ended up hating the person or whatever happens. So emotions fluctuate a lot. So in the same way that Junajpu can talk about like these emotions, sometimes we tend to run away from our battles because we are afraid of them. So you try to find like an easier solution, or try to go for additives to get out of the reality because we want to escape them. So it's about when these emotions makes us branch into different solutions that takes us away from that. But if you want to carry, if you want to really face the battle, we need to face these emotions. We need to conquer them. We need to overcome, like whenever they want to escape. And so Tz'i can talk about that, like this ramification of the emotions. So there can be like these emotions that can be overwhelming. At the same time that Tz'i talks about companionship, lawyership, like talking about like the appreciating the people who are next to us. The same way that the warriors, they have the people who can encourage them, to flow forward, or just to get the courage. So we need to have our loyal people next to us. They can help us to make this battle like don't feel that difficult to fight. So it talks about this importance of having like these people that we can count on, that we can fall back on whenever we need. So that's the importance of carrying with Tz'i. But as I told you, that emotions can be a little bit tricky, like they can sometimes betray us, in that matter. And Junajpu is the now that he talks about treason. So whenever like you are with people who are just next to you because they want something for you, they are looking at what you can conquer, they are looking at your abilities. So you need to be aware of the people that we are carrying by our sides. So that's really important to know in the Tz'i, because they can these people, if we don't pay attention, like if we just easily trust anyone who just tag along, we can end up getting betrayed by them. So the same way that Tz'i talks about this companionship, talks about like this loyalship, like it talks also about the insecurity and the emotions that can corrupt. The same way that I just said, sometimes one day we love a person, another day we hate the person. So emotions fluctuate a lot. So we need to be aware of this. And then we gonna move to the next now, kahib, bats, for monkey, for threads. The now 4 is the nawal of the water that stops or just gets into the container, represents no movement. Or the water that is slowly getting strength, but silently getting strength. A silent flow that goes up, but it's very slow. And now that we talk about the threads that gets interconnected to produce the textures in the Maya culture. But we're going to be talking about interconnectivities of ideas, of work as well. Is the node of work and ideas. At the same time that we talk about what is entangled, if you are using this metaphor of the thread. Because remember that, as I always like to remark, that the TRECENAs, like an Northern horoscope, like they are entities, they are like bosses who just pass, like the tasks to one to another. So everyone is going to be continue flowing with what the other one left. So if we started the TRECENA with Hunkanil, like with the potential to germinate, like doing things in the right proportion, then we evaluate our sacrifices in Keptor, we open the path with the right emotions in Tz'i. So then Kahibats for thread for monkey is gonna be the step where we can put our ideas into balance, or to see what actions we can do in order to achieve, in order to conquer this battle. What kind of things you'd like to build, to attract with Junajpu. So that's the stuff that we can do in Kahibats. At the same way, we can take a time to pause and untangle these threads that are not connecting. Maybe we're just having too many ideas. So maybe we need some time to untangle them before continue on. So just bring stuff into balance to avoid getting frustrated later on. So the more we are like we know like the next step to do, or the next move to make, the better. So now about is just put things into order so we can follow in a easier way. And then we can move to Hob E5 Pathfinder. Now 5 is a water that overflows. Is the water that has no containment, just is the next step of the container that is accumulating water and then can suddenly overflow, or the container can get so much volume that can break, just like when the dam causes a devastation. Of course, for our human purposes, every time we see like a dam breaking and causing the destruction, we always gonna be thinking about like our human purpose, our human interests. Oh, the devastation that the water produced, all the destruction that the overflow caused. But for nature, the overflow of the water is something very important. It's something that will help so many seeds to germinate. It's going to be something that's going to be helping, barren areas, to go back to life once again. So it's about, just renewing stuff in nature. So as we can see, like we are the only species that complain a lot. So nature, always is adapting to the new circumstances. So this overflow aspect is something inevitable that we need to pay attention to. And so depending on how like we let the container, if we started with the seed with the proper amount germinating, or maybe with too extra stuff, working a lot, just getting intoxicated, then thought can make us sick, then we can try to escape with our emotions in Tz'i, and then we can get more entangled in bats, so then we can be just carried by this overflow of water. And now we talk about the Pathfinder, is finding a purpose, giving meaning into something. Try to find a way to keep moving forward, to advance. Even if to advance we need to move backwards to advance, just to take one step back once again to recalculate the path. So, but it's all about to advance. But if you are stagnant sometimes, like as I mentioned in the beginning, if you just let the universe decide what the seed's going to be doing, so you're always going to be thrown through the stuff that which you have no control. So as I mentioned in the beginning, we need to nurture the seed, we need to nurture our projects, we need to do at least a little, like nurture at least a little bit every day, or at least as our demands that of our projects they require us to apply. So if you want to overcome this darkness, conquer something, conquer a project, to see that, the thing shine, to attract people, we need to do the effort. We cannot just let things happen. So otherwise, we are just carried away with the overflow of things. But the more like we know how to nurture, the more likely we are to take things under our own control. And so the now 5A is this overflow of paths to advance. Could be where maybe you really found out like what is your project's about, or where you really want to move. Is maybe it's like just being in a rush of now 5, just being like just doing like just advancing, just doing the stuff that you're gonna do, not thinking too much about the project, just being there in the moments, is where you can find out your real purpose, like what like is if this sacrifice is really worth it or not. So now 5A can talk about like this overflow. So if you are in the right direction, where you're doing the trust, and it's just running nicely for you, it's a day for you to dedicate 150% onto that. Just go with this flow, this uncontained flow of the now 5, that can be really, really can bring really good rewards later on. Maybe you can really find the clarity of your purpose later on. But also now 5A can also, as now it talks about the melancholies in the path, as the now that talks about to continue advancing, just continue moving on. Sometimes, of course, we are all humans. Sometimes we want to stop a little bit, say, "Oh, come on, slow down, life. I need some time to embrace those memories that I just made, or just remember like a loved one. They're just trying to be stuck, in a parallel reality with those emotions, and that can cause us melancholy to move forward. Sometimes we don't want that. Sometimes we want to freeze some moments so we can enjoy them more, but life never allows us, to do that. So that's something that we need to bear in mind with now A, that sometimes now A can bring this tsunami of melancholies, especially if we were stagnant with now bats, especially if our emotions are not in the right place, as we saw in in Tz'i, the 3 dog. So we always need to find a way to make things, find a way to flow nicely. So if our goal in here is just to face this road of overcoming the darkness, overcoming our fears, whatever it is, so we need to always keep moving forward. And then from Hob E, we're gonna move to Wakib Ah, 6 transformation. Now 6 is the heart of the TRECENA. So after the repercussion of the overflow, so then you can see what are the possible outcomes. You're gonna put things into perspective. And now Ah is the now of the transformation. But whenever we talk about transformation in Maya, we talk about something that is incomplete. We talk about something that maybe requires a change. Maybe there's something that is not completely there yet. So in this TRECENA, that we start with the seed, the seed needs the proper nutrients, the proper conditions, the proper complements to germinate. And as I told you, as soon as the TRECENA, as soon as the seed goes to the underground, already starts this battle to overcome the darkness. So we need to carry things in the right proportion to make the seed multiplicate, to make the seed germinate. So then as we are carrying with 2 Tor, so we need to calculate like what is the sacrifices to be made to conquer this battle, or Sheep Tz'i, to see where these emotions are gonna lead us, because sometimes we try to escape, because emotions they fluctuate a lot, so we can get insecure about stuff, so we can be like our own barriers in that sense. How about if we don't make this effort of just get out of stagnancy, or just to untangle this knots, not knowing the right move to do where things interconnect, so we maybe can get lost in Hob A, and now we need to ponder what happened. But if we are in the right flow of the things, we can see what things are working, what things are not working. So we can see where things are tending to go, or are the possibilities that this TRECENA can be. So we can see what requires a change. So we still have time. So we need to put the hand on our hearts and see, okay, what requires change? Why do I feel incomplete about that? Like, why am I like scared about something? It's about putting things into perspective of why do you feel incomplete? Why do you feel something requires a change? So then after just putting everything into perspective, you are able to do the right actions to transform, to see the light of day, to make something shine. So, but it's necessary sometimes that we go through these uncomfortable feelings inside of us, because then, because they are the ones sometimes that makes us, just to go, because we don't want to stay with them for too long. And also a good day to see if we are just doing things in the right proportion, to see if we are just not doing something wrong because we miscalculated something. So that's an important step in the heart of this TRECENA, to see what requires a change, what is incomplete, so we can make the proper decision in the next nawal. That is Ukub Ishvalam 7 Jaguar. The nawal 7 is a nawal of the climax of this TRECENA, is the hot water, is the end of the TRECENA, of this first part. But we can already see like where things are tending to accumulate. So this could be something good that we can carry. Maybe we can see like the most potential, what is the most intense in here. And now Ishvalam talks about the jaguar, the female jaguar, is as metaphorically talking also about the planet Earth, the female aspects of nature, that involves gestation, development, just like a pregnant woman talks about the cold, what is gestating over there. Also the earth that is constantly gestating and give birth to new creatures, new beings all the time. So it talks about this aggressive fertility. And so that's this the earth, this underground of the earth where the magic happens. So if we started the TRECENA with the seed needs to go to the underground to develop and just to rise up as a flower. Ishvalam is the earth that's going to provide the magic. But the earth is going to need the proper conditions to be able to develop stuff. If you are just following like the streak of the TRECENA in the cold side, then this Ishvalam can repercute in being in barrenness. So the land will lose fertility, and nothing will be will be able to germinate and come to fruition later on. So that's something that we need to be aware in how we treat things with our land, how we prepare the land as well. Remember that the seed needs the proper conditions. So the better we prepare ourselves to provide the proper conditions, that will make like a huge repercussion on how you're going to be able to conquer this darkness of Junajpu, to make this seed germinate and become a flower. And so Ishvalan also talks about the resources, talks about the coldness of the underground, talks about this intense darkness that we need to overcome in this big battle of Junajpu to become this flower. Also talks about just collecting the resources or collecting the money, for example, for you to apply in your projects, for you to make everything to spin, just to keep going, to keep advancing. It's not just about just being stocking some stuff into a place, but we need to talk about like how we're gonna be making like the cycle keep spinning over there. So it's about the proper resources, so you can have what you need for your battle, for to overcome the steps that are necessary. And then we're gonna move to Washakip Tz'ikin 8 Eagle. So here is where the TRECENA restarts. So in now 7 is where you can see where things are tending to accumulate already. So now that where the TRECENA restarts with the now 8 is like a second beginning, like it's the return of the rainy seasons, the return of something in nature repeating a pattern, something that we can bring explanations, so we can collect data, so we can see what's working and what's not working. Not because we think, but we can rely on actual data. And so it's just walking to a place once again. So just walking to the same place for the second time. So you have more peace of mind, you remember some things, so you can do things in a better way when you do things for the second time. So there won't be like that something new again. So it's a more balanced beginning, while the one is only the water just softly breaking the skin of the earth, looking for a path like blindly. It doesn't have like a strong drive yet, but the now 8 is the restart, who is already strong, who is already, for example, is the whenever like now 1 just have a little bit of rain, but then suddenly stop, but you know that the rain is going to be coming back stronger, and that's the now 8, the return of the rainy season. And the now Tz'ikin, we're going to be talking about the bird, the eagle that is flying high in the sky, just seeing everything from above, and needs to focus to go straight forward. It's going to be hunting, going straight forward. And that's the metaphor that we're going to be using for nawal Tz'ikin. Is Ishvala is we talk metaphorically about the female aspects of nature, like the earth, like the cold, or gestation. Tz'ikin is going to be talking about the masculine aspects of nature. It's going to be talking about like the sky. It's going to be talking about the light. It's the midday sun. It can be like the rain, something that goes straight forward to the ground. So what do we need to do for the seed to germinate? As we started the TRECENA with Hun Canil, you need the proper heat of the sun, the proper amount of rain or water that are going to be depositing to that, the proper amount of fertilizers to make the seed grow strong, but it needs that in the right proportion. So 8 Tz'ikin is going to be the return of the focus that we need to have to carry the things in the right proportion, to make sure we can overcome this darkness of Junajpu. So it's going to be this restart where you can do things in a better, in more prepared way. So we needed the aspects of transformation in Wakib 6 transformation. We had this intense fertility, this intense development in 7 Jaguar, Ukub, Ishvalam. So now with the feminine, and now we have this masculine side with the eagle, just providing the heat, providing this right conditions for the seed to germinate. And so that's going to be the return of also the investments. If Ishvalam is just collecting the resources, just growing like making a savings account, the Tz'ikin is going to be the one who invests the money that Ishvalam, or invest the resources that Ishvalam collected. But you can do that in a more balanced way, so you don't like waste the resources, because sometimes Tz'ikin days can be a dangerous day for shopping. So be aware of how you're going to be using your money, your resources. Hello guys from Instagram. So I'm just looking here for the YouTube, but I'm going to be looking at using here as well. And so Tz'ikin also we'll be talking about like if the Ishvalam we follow the metaphor of the Jaguar, that is circle the territory, circle the surroundings, exploring to see like what are the preys over there, so it can go and attack not directly but like from the side. Tz'ikin is the one that attacks, goes straight forward. They follow this masculine, just like the direct sunlight or direct rain that falls from the sky, and that will give rise to the procreation. And so Tz'ikin, we will talk about going straight forward or just seeing everything. But if we have like this very strong vision, this very intense vision, like there you can see everything. So if you can see everything, sometimes we can not focus on anything. So that's where we need to pay attention now, Tz'ikin, to not turn the 8 Tz'ikin into the return of something that's going to bring disturbance. So that then we're gonna be repeating the cycle over and over again, and that's what we want to avoid in Washakip Tz'ikin. And then from the 8th eagle, Washakip Tz'ikin, we're gonna move to Belaer Ajmaq, 9 complementarity. Now 9 is the water that's underground, is silently flowing without everyone seeing that. It's the underground rivers. It's akin to the now Ishvalam in the sense that it's gestating, in the sense that it's incubating over there. But the important thing is that it's hidden from sight. We can talk also about the inner stuff. And now Ajmaq is the one that combines the complementary opposites, the female jaguar and the masculine eagle, like it's the earth and the sky, and combine both just to give birth to something new. Is the nawal of procreation, is the nawal of the newborns, is the nawal of the sexual act. So is the nawal that talks about also the products, the results that we get. So Belaer Ajmaq is going to be talking about the gestation of the results. So in the same way that we saw the seed that went to the darkness of the underground, so now we can see what is gestating, what can come to fruition from there according to our efforts, according to how we are nurturing that seed in order to face this battle, to overcome darkness, to shine, as a flower, or just to bring or to attract stuff with our projects. So Belaer Ajmaq is going to be talking about like these inner results or these inner components that we need to combine in order to make something grow, make something just come out of that. And also Ajmaq will talk about whenever we are blind about something. Just like as the now of procreation, combining the complementary opposites, we can get excited about that. We can fall in love. We can fall in love with our ideas or with a person that we have next to us. And that sometimes can lead us to mistakes. If we are like overwhelmed by emotions, we are blinded by emotions, we are likely to make mistakes only based on emotions. So remember, as in the first part of the TRECENA, I spoke about the 3 dog, about these ramifications of emotions. Just sometimes try to escape, or just sometimes try to rely in someone else, trying to escape what we need to face. So maybe you can see this inner repercussion, or this repercussion that is running silently hidden from our sight in Belaer Ajmaq, leading us to commit mistakes because we are just being driven by emotions. And these emotions can often blind us. So it can be a good day for you to realize that if you're just stating the right things, if you have like the right complementary people by your side. Once again, as I mentioned in Tz'i, it's good to have people by our side to encourage us into this big battle to overcome darkness. Just to keep that push to bring things forward. But at the same time, we need to be careful with the people we have next to our sides. Sometimes they are not very complementary for what we need. So that's why we need to choose very well who we have by our side, and to make sure we choose the right people. And then moving to the next nawal, we're going to move to Lauch Naor, 10 thoughts, 10 knowledge. Nawal 10 is the nawal of the convergence, is the nawal of putting things into one single place. Is the nawal that we associate metaphorically to the lake. The lake, because the lake receives the water from the inner spring, or maybe from the rivers, maybe from the other currents of water, but also provides the water to the land, to the animals that lives over there. So it's a giver and a receiver. You can also apply the metaphor of the airport, where there are people arriving and departing at the same time. And so it's the moment of that we can do collaboration work. We can help one another with those things. So now we'll talk about organizing, synthesizing, of bringing the organization, or just bringing all these ideas, just putting them into, compacting them into knowledge, so we can use the data that we collected. Remember, we were talking about the kahibats in the beginning of the TRECENA, of trying to see what the steps to do, try to untangle our ideas, to see how they fit, to know what's the next step to do, what's the next move to make. So now we can converge in this organization with Noh, to see like how like our different ideas they converge to a single place, or if they not converge at all. So in the Now 10 we can use the help of other people in order to help fixing this plan, fixing what could be confusing, what could be what was entangled in the first part of the TRECENA. So it's a moment that we can say, yeah, I cannot do this alone. So I will ask, the help of my loyal friends, or the people who has the expertise, the right expertise to help you through this process. So that's how we can use the now 10 thoughts, the 10 now. Now 10 depending, remember, on how the TRECENA is flowing, how the TRECENA is proceeding. Can also talk about like the moment when you are overthinking too much, like you are converging so many ideas that can start to bring an infection to your plans, an infection that will leave you to darkness, into the chaotic things that maybe the now Tz'i brought up with the emotions. Maybe we just want to escape, so we just try to avoid the ideas that we really need to work on. So we need to pay attention to that. So 10, now is a good day to ask the help for other people with our plans, if you see to. And then from Lauch Naor, we're gonna move to Hulauch Tijax 11 cut. Now 11 is another now that talks about divergence, but it's different from 3. So now 11 is more about how we spread or dilute something, or how we corrode something, like the essence of the matter, like it's the power of the water. And now Tijax is a now of the cut, the incision, cut and separate, cut to remove the negative, cut to remove what no longer serves you. Is a now that mainly talks about how we use our communication. Is referred to the words that heal and the words that hurt. Because as we always say, words can heal and words can hurt. Also is the now of the medicine. If we started just talking about how we need to treat the seed, and then in Washakip Tz'ikin, 8th ego, how we're gonna be coming back to provide the heat of the sun and provide the proper amount of the rain, the right components. So if we overdose that, we can rotten the seed. So we can abandon the battle that we were initially facing. That. So then Tijax can be the spread of the disease, of the intoxication, by using the medicine. So if you don't do things in the right proportion. So it can be a good day for you to cut the losing threads, working as an editor of the things that are not working. If you feel that you're not doing well, or if you feel you're just getting sick with this stuff that you are doing. So Tijax is a good day just to say, oh, it's enough, just to make an incision to stop this process. It's also a process of pod the plant if it's necessary, just like we need to take care of the garden as Junajpu. So Tijax is going to be the day where you can cut like the losing like the extra branches, so only just to keep things attracting, because Tijax can be very magnetic. So how you would like to attract, how you'd like to prepare your speech to sell your ideas, to sell your projects, so other people can join your boat to help you in that matter. But remember that also can talks about the intoxication if we are not leading the stuff in a proper way, in a balanced way in this TRECENA. And then we move to Kawuq 12 Sheet Lightning. Now 12 is the hidden balance of the TRECENA, something that comes unexpectedly, something that can bring an extra. It can be the cash out of the TRECENA, the last moment before the accumulation, or something that comes as a surprise. After we are pondering the first part of the TRECENA, after the overflow and stuff, then the 12 can bring the additional or maybe the extra stuff that you need to work on. And if in the beginning of the TRECENA we spoke about the now 5 Pathfinder, Hob E, talking about this overflow of directions to follow, maybe the overflow of many meanings that we could be carrying. And now 12 can bring this extra balance, it can bring something unexpected. Now Kawuq is a now that we talk about deep intuition. Whenever we talk about deep intuition, we refer to unsolicited information, like something that we cannot control, something that we cannot really have an idea if we can rely that or not. So that's something that we need to bear in mind in here. Kawuq talks about unsolicited information, something that if you are focused about, you are working into something, so you are more likely to receive like the light of intuition, more directed to the things you are working on. But if you are too dispersed, as in the now 11 or in the now Tz'ikin, just let it just to be dispersed into something, then you are likely to fall into more BS. So it can fall into gossips, fall into something that's only going to just keep you very away from the battle that you really need to face, or just give you the light of intuition about something that is not going to be useful, and something that can really put you in trouble, because sometimes you're going to be suffering from that information inside of you in Kawuq. So that's important to pay attention to. And so, but the more direct we are, the more we're going to be able to look at the path that we need to walk. Maybe you can see the big picture. So during this time, so maybe we can see like how we can make something glow in that matter. And then from Kawuq, we're going to move to the final day and the ruler of this TRECENA, Junajpu, 13 conqueror sun. The now 13 is the accumulation of everything that we saw here in this TRECENA. Is the now that we talk about like the seed accumulation of these big large corpuses of water. And now Junajpu, as I mentioned in the beginning, is the battle to conquer the darkness, the battle of the seed to overcome the darkness of the underground of the earth and rise up as a flower. So that's the metaphor that we're gonna be talking about in Junajpu. So since the moment where we plant the seeds, Junajpu was already just overruling that, was already dictating what was the battle that the seed needs to face to become a flower, to germinate, or even to multiplicate. And so we need to treat that earth in the right way, in the right proportion, so the earth could do its magic. So Junajpu is the accumulation of what we projected on Junkanil, it's the beginning of the seed, planting the seed, then to Kib Tor, calculating what are the sacrifices we need to do in order to face this battle, so we can open the path to overcome the emotional obstacles on the way, like the fear, the insecurities of this TRECENA that Junajpu can bring. Then to stop to see how our ideas can interconnect, or to stop to see what are the stuff or what the things to do or put into action. It's a time to balance stuff, or to untangle our ideas or this branch of emotions, so we can overflow with the directions, to go with purpose, to follow, that gives us that boost to overcome our fears. Then we can ponder what to change, what is incomplete in our 6R. Then later we can receive this intense magic of development in Ukub Ishvalam. so we can return the focus to see if we are applying stuff in the right way with a Tz'ikin, so we can see like the inner results in Belay Ajmaq, converge the ideas again on Lau Naor, 10 thoughts, 10 knowledge, or as the help of the others. Then you can spread, or we can cut the idea that doesn't serve, or maybe the overthinking of Naor in Kawuq Tijax, or even just take the time to heal ourselves in order to face the battle. Then you're gonna move to Kawuq, where you can see the sun light just showing us the path that we need to follow in order to make things shine in Junajpu. And then we accumulate in Junajpu is the accumulation of brightness, the accumulation of glow. But also remember that Junajpu can also be treason, can also represent whenever things are just making too right for you, and then your ego inflates, and then like what you think that was gold, it was just a false glow, like something that you just got, you just fell for the illusion of things. So this can be a tricky TRECENA. So in the past TRECENA we accumulated strength, so we can face this battle in this TRECENA. So after just following this process of facing the battle, we're going to be getting prepared for the next TRECENA. There's going to be Oshlahu Ah, the 13th transformation, where we're going to be continuing on with the repercussions of this one. So here we finish the analysis of this TRECENA. So first time doing this live here on Instagram and on YouTube. I was mostly looking here for YouTube because it was better. Maybe next time I can position that better. So if you have any questions regarding to this TRECENA or Maya calendar in general, I will be here for a few more minutes. Even though I'm knackered right now, I had a very long day. But if you don't have any questions, we can just cease the session. So at least here on Instagram can close. If you have any questions, oh, thank you, Edmond. Thank you for joining me. So the brief TRECENA coming up. Thank you, Maya. Nice to have you here as well. So I wish you all a great TRECENA ahead. If you have any question, just know you can reach me in whatever platform you prefer. So thank you so much for joining me, and see you all in our next TRECENA analysis. Bye bye, guys.